Okay, so I promised you a bonus video, so I'm going to give you one. Alright, so here's what I've done. I have grabbed this out of my collage stack. Alright, I have grabbed this head out of my collage stack. I cut this body out of this magazine just a second ago, and then I realized I should probably be filming this because I thought, well, let me grab up all my stuff first. And then I thought, well, actually, y'all might want to see the grabbing of the stuff. So there was a photo. Let me find it. There's a bunch of women in a row, but it was a drawing of a bunch of women in a row. There it is. And so I just cut out the last woman. And that's where we got this. And I just cut her out, but I cut her head off. And I threw it away. Sorry. I guess I should have saved it. Could have been a good head for something else. Oh well. Too late now. So now I'm looking for some legs. I do have some legs in my bowl, though. Let me see if I can find them. So maybe I'll use those legs. Can I find those legs real quick? They were good legs, so I had cut them out already. Here's a body, an entire body. But I need legs. Here we go, legs. So she was like squatting, and so, yeah, I would have to connect them somehow, or don't connect them. But yeah, you could make like, those are her legs, that's her body, that's her head. And then what you do is you connect them somehow, and I would probably do that with pin work. Because yeah, the legs are turned a different direction than the body, and the head's too big. And that's the whole point of when you do this. So, but I'm going to keep looking to see if I have any better legs before I use those. And then this, I thought I would cut in half and use as my borders, one on each side. And then I had drawn this to doodle in, but I think I'm going to just color them in so there'll be a cute little background. But let me go back to looking for legs, because I need legs. I can swap bodies. She's got a pretty good body. Oh, that wouldn't be. That'd be kind of weird. I like that. Do I like that? And then replace her head with this head. No. I like that body better. I just need better legs. And I don't have many magazines back here. So I need it. What you need for this really is a fashion magazine, because you have lots of people in lots of weird poses. And I don't have lots of people in lots of weird poses in a real simple magazine. What is that? I hope that's Bentley. There's something making weird noises right outside my window. Hope it's neighbor dog. Otherwise it's scary. Y'all. That was a weird noise. Okay. It's really late at night. Alright, there's no good legs in that one. Let's see. Let's see if we've got any good legs in this one. Alright, where's my body? Here's my body. Oh, those legs aren't bad at all. Alright, what's on the other side of this? And I could save the upper half of her body for something else. All right, let's get them. Let's get those legs. All right, I'm just going to save that, and I'll worry about cutting the rest of it out later. All right, let me get this last foot cut out good. All right, and I don't know if I said, this is your bonus video for Oopsin, page 8 of the Happenstance Journal, because I did, in fact, oops it, very much so. So, yeah. Okay, so these legs can go back. There's our head. Let's cut this in half. Okay. So there's our body, legs, head. We need a hat. We need a hat. We need a hat. Okay. Let's see what we got in here. This is a Flow magazine. It has all kinds of papers and patterns and prints. And I need something that I can make into a hat. Oh. See, now that would make a cool hat. What's on the other side? Alright, I'm going to keep these words just because they're words. Do I need those words? What do they even say? It's nice not to have a deadline, so if I only get half of a drawing done, there are no worries. Yeah, I'll keep it. It's kind of cutesy. So, throw the extra away, the words and thing. Alright, now then, let's cut out these colors. These are pretty great colors. Alright, and then we got Flow and Diary on this side. So let's cut them out and put in our words. And we're going to cut them apart. Okay, trash that. And alright, when I picked it up, I was thinking that I'd use this for her hat. You know, just cut it at an angle and use part of that as her hat. Which is not bad. Not bad. But I'm now thinking, what if I use that for her hat? That's better. Yep, that's what we're using. So I'm going to stick these to the side. And I'm going to cut out that. So let's get her a hat, hair, whatever we're gonna call this. I know a lot of people do this style of collage now, but as far as I know, the original person to do this style of collage was Teesha Moore. And she had her astronauts back in the day, and this is what she did. And it was super cute and super fun. And, oop, like that, and that. And she needs to be sitting on something now. So, what shall she be sitting on? I could take one of these little sketches that I did and have her sitting on it. Like that. That's kind of cool. So if I did that, which one would I want to use? Because I have quite a stack of them. Let's see. Oh, I like this one. I like this one. What else have we got? Oh, here's a tiny painting I did. Like a tiny painting. But it's muted colors. She needs to be on darker colors. All right, I think I'm becoming less enamored of this idea. So let's see. Let's come up with something else. We could do this. We already cut it out. We could have her sitting on that. Oh, I like that. All right, but do I like that better or that? I think I like that better. All right, but I need to cut it down because it's too much of it. So that ought to be pretty good. All right. All right, so now then, the first thing I want to do though is I want to color in some of this background. And I thought I would use the gelatos that I was using on these other pages. So let's do it. So let's take a clean and a little matte medium. Okay, just like that. All right, and maybe we don't, well, I don't know. Let's just start putting some colors. And I'm not worried about actually staying in the lens or anything else. I'm just gonna put a dot of some color. And then I'll take this blue and put it everywhere else. brush. Do I have such a creature? Okay, he's a little stiff. So we're going to start with the pink ones. All right, I think that's all the pink, so now we're going to move into the red. Okay, now this blue-green, and actually, I didn't look at the names of these. Okay, so this is Faber-Castell's Gelatos in, I guess the name of it's Nebula. This one's Mars, and this one is Stardust. Now we'll go into the blue, which is the Nebula. Alright, let's give it a quick dry. Alright, and now then, let's put down, whoops, let's put down the, we'll put down the seat first. Alright, so for that we need to figure out exactly, so she's going to be sitting on it, but we got to have room for her body, her head, and her hat, which means it's got to come almost to the bottom. So there, 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 there. And then one of these on each side. Yeah. So you know what? Why don't we just go in and take it all the way, almost all the way to the bottom. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just take it almost all the way to the bottom, because then we have more room to do something above it. All right. So let's get this brush and put some gel medium back here. and down here, and put this down there. Okay, and then put these on the sides. Now then, legs. And just kind of like that. Or actually, I guess she needs to be sitting more like that. And then her body. And her head. And then her hat, hair, crown, whatever we're gonna call this. I haven't done one of these in years, but they really are fun to do. Okay, so Tracy Moore, I can't, it's been too many years, but I think she may have done her entire piece with collage. I don't remember if she did the background with collage or if she painted it out. It's just been too long since I've seen any of her stuff. But if you go Google her, I guarantee you there's still stuff out there. Tracy Moore, she had the Archtronauts, and was her fan base. All right. So now you gotta let it dry so that you can do pen work. Well, here's the thing. To be able to do real pen work on this and not cheat the way I normally do, you have to actually let it dry. But you know what? I need something right there. Something right there. All right, let's do that. How much do I need? Just a little bit. Don't you love those fancy measurements? Just a little bit. So I'll cut some of that off, and then from there to there. So cut off about that much. And rather than get out more matte medium for one piece, we'll just do glue stick. And there's us a topper. All right. Yeah. So we'll stick all this over here in our collage stuffs. All right, so we're gonna have to let that dry. We're going to have to let that dry, and then tomorrow I will add the pen work. So and then I'll edit it together so it's just one video. But yeah, there it is so far. Pretty doggone cute. And again, if you're interested in the original person, as far as I know, Google Teesha Moore. She was fabulous at doing this. And I say was because I don't think she does art anymore. I think about, 5, maybe longer years ago, she had a stroke. And I don't know. She basically had to relearn how to do everything. And I don't know if she started making art again or not. I can't think of her husband's name. He was an artist, or he is an artist as well. But as far as I know, she never released art anymore. Now you can catch me up if you know more than that. But she was extremely active. She had a newsletter, she had a club, and she had all this stuff before people had all this stuff. So yeah, she was one of my favorites when I was very first starting out, which tells you how long ago that was. Because at this point, that's pretty close to, how long is that? That's pretty close to 20 years ago when I first started out. So, okay, I'm going to let this dry. We'll do pen work tomorrow. Bye, y'all. Alright, I decided to give you a video of her as I am calling it a night. So that's what she looks like before we add any pen details or anything else. And we might add some more collage tomorrow. We'll see. Morning. Okay, so a couple of things. I did my research last night after I shut the camera off. And Teesha Moore is her husband. It's Teesha Moore. So if you're watching this, I'll make sure in my description that I say Teesha. Teesha. Isn't that funny? I remembered his name and not hers. And all I could remember last night when I was talking about him was that he had a name that was, ambiguous. And then I thought, well, her name is ambiguous. So maybe that's what I was thinking. But it's not. Her name isn't. His name is. So anyway, it's Teesha Moore. And I did do a check up on her last night. She's on Instagram. And, she is doing art journaling, but she lost her right side. And so she doesn't do very much. And she said she's very slow because she never could learn to use her left hand. So you can check her out on Instagram to follow her healing journey because, of course, that's what's going on now. Or you can check out her old YouTube to see this kind of style that I'm doing today. Okay, so also when I did pull up her name, I saw some of her stuff, and I remember she always did painted plain backgrounds because she filled it in with writing. So not going to be perfect. We'll figure out something when we get there. But y'all, it's been years since I've done this, and I was just, I don't know. Well, I'll tell you what it was. I was flipping through, cutting up these magazines. And I came across this page, and I don't remember who the artist in the magazine was. I don't know if it even says. But my first thought was, that looks like a Teesha Moore page. Now, yes, my first thought was actually, that looks like a Teesha Moore page, but it's Teesha. My first thought was, that looks like a Teesha Moore page. And it wasn't. It's somebody else. And then I went a little further in the magazine, and someone else, which I don't know if I cut out or not, had another page. It was another artist. And I thought, she might not be making art anymore, but she has definitely left her mark on us. So anyway, I just kind of had her in my head after seeing that. So, alright, so that's our fixes from me getting the name wrong yesterday and update on what I found out. Alright, so at this point, all you need are some black and white markers. and I have 2 sizes of black, 2 sizes of white. I probably will use way more white, way more black than white, at least initially. I couldn't find my this size black. I may dig for it if I really want it. So I'm gonna start with this little one though. No, let's start with the medium one. All right, I'm gonna start with this medium one. At this point, you just kind of are connecting everything, making them one image because they really aren't. And let's see, can I better not mess with that. I'll end up messing up like I did yesterday. All right, so let's start with her crown. Crown, hat, hair, whatever we're calling it. Now you can see when you're doing this, I just added a centerpiece that wasn't there. So that's part of this as well. You add what isn't there. So like she doesn't really have eyes. So I'm going to add them. Because this is how it becomes yours rather than someone else's. All this stuff. Even though you started with how you cut it and then how you draw it now. All right, before I move on, so I've outlined her head. I've given it a centerpiece. Her hat. I've given it a centerpiece. I've outlined her head, given her what's going to become eyes. I've outlined her body. I've given her a booty because she didn't really have one. Right? I've given her a little bit of a booty. And I've redone her boots so that they're now polka dot. So you see, I'm starting to make her A, cohesive, and B, mine. All right? And now I'm going to let all that dry, and I'm going to go somewhere else. Okay, so at this point, I've done two things. I've given her heavy inside line and a heavy bottom line. And that's a place to add a little white once it dries. And then I've also kind of connected my frame. So at this point, this is my frame. And that's also a very Teesha thing. Although I will tell you on hers, hers tend to be built up of a lot of images. Mine is very simple. This is one image cut in half. That's one, and that's just a scrap of paper. Hers might have, she is almost always had little fiddly things in the corners and extra layers on top. They're very layered. They're very detailed in the collage before you ever start the pen work. So again, this is not necessarily her style. This is kind of my take on her style. So if you want to check out her style, you need to go to YouTube and just put in Teesha Moore. For some of you that maybe haven't been art journaling as long, Teesha Moore may be brand new to you. You may not know where all these people that do this style kind of came from. Because like I said, as far as I know, she's the first one to do this. Her husband Tracy's style is somewhat similar, but it's more handwriting, you know. Check him out. He was also very cool. He's also a very cool artist. But I always just love Teesha's so much more because they just had such a fun energy to them. Now I want to find that old art journal I made in that class. Because you know I own it. It's in that art studio somewhere. All right. Okay, so now at this point, I've kind of outlined everything, and I'm adding in my new details. All right, so hopefully this is dry. So I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to add in an eyeball and an eyeball. And no, I didn't add these right. I made them round. They shouldn't be round, right? Because part of the eyelid should be covering them. But I didn't do it that way intentionally. These are meant to be a little off kilter, a little unsettling in how you do them. But in a fun way. Not in a, well, I mean, it can be in a creepy way, but mainly in a fun way. Still here, Dolly. She's realized I'm in here without her. Hang on. We gotta let the doll in. All right, you want to say hi to the peoples? All right, hang on, the camera's overhead. Say hi to the peoples. Okay, now look, Mom's doing her art, so you gotta do your art. You got art in your box? You got art in your box? All right, go check out what's in your box. She has a box that is full of little boxes. The boxes that I guess I put them up that the inks came in. Yeah, and that's her art she plays in. She's actually really good in here. The others not so much. I'm swapping to a smaller white pen. And a lot of this is putting on light so you can put on dark, or putting on dark so you can put on light to build up all these layers. And try not to work in your wet. Oh, hi baby. Hi baby. Hi baby. She never jumps up here. Huh, was it because I wasn't talking to you? I love you. I do. I thought you had art. Huh? You gonna play in your little art box? You don't need any of these supplies. No, ma'am, you don't need those. Your booty's gonna knock something over. All right, you've been up here. All right, you've been up here. Give me the kitten. Give me the kitten. All right, she's making her own art project now, so we can get back to ours. All right, Dolly left. We all wish we made art as quickly as Doll. She's so fast. The main thing about this is taking every element that you've used and figuring out how to alter it to make it your own. So I've been going for a little while, so let's see, what all have I done that we haven't talked about? So I went in and let's just start at the top. So I put in the white to make this a checkered and to make these polka dotted, the marks that I had put down earlier. I put 2 long stripes through this. Then I put, you can either read this as stripes behind the red or checkers in the red. A checker or checker boxes on top of the red. It's really up to your eye. I just really wanted to do something to make that my own, and I didn't want to just put polka dots in the red or something because I've got polka dots going other places. Hang on, had to get some coffee. I put the small lines on the inside of her eyelids just to give them more of an eye look, because I'm going to work on her eyes once that big white glob is dry. I put the veining in the palm leaves. I started to make those look more like crystals, but when I actually went to do it, I thought, nope, I really like that they're palm leaves, and that it makes no sense that they're palm leaves. Maybe she's some kind of goddess. I don't know. You know, like a Tahitian goddess or something. You know, they wear the palm leaves. Let's see what else I did. I put the hashtags up here, so it's just not just plain yellow. And again, all this is just making it your own. I put white polka dots in the middle of the black, because that's what I actually wanted all along, was white polka dots. But sometimes you need to add black so you can add white. Oh, I changed her pants to black because I wanted to give her a little of a booty sitting here to tie her body to her legs a little more. And so I gave her legs. I colored her pants so that the black of my pen that made her booty would also be her legs. But I did a kind of a messy so that you still have a little bit of the light and dark there where her legs cross. But I'm going to go back with white pen later and play that up. So at this point, what I'm looking at is while the white dries, before I can go back and work on her eyes more. Oh, and I put the detail of her nose and the underneath of her lip. And you know what? I want to do the top lip as well. All right. So anyway, while that's drying, I need to be considering how I'm going to make these my own. Because at this point, all I've done is cut them in half and add the border. And at some point, I will swap from paint pens to just regular pens because I want really small marks. And that might be what I do there, because these are really detailed. So this might be where I swap to those. Okay, so the last thing that I remember that she always did was in the background, she did her words, but she did them in a very particular style that I'm not good at. So I'm going to try. But what she did was she would fit her writing exactly to the space. So, and I'm not good at that. But she'd do it by making some letters bigger, some letters smaller. She'd change directions. She'd just pick up the, she'd just pick up the word on, if there wasn't enough room, she'd just pick it up down here. So, one last thing I want to do. I want to give that line right there. So, yeah, she'd have, like I said, a very distinctive way of doing things. And, it was her way. It's not my way. So I'm going to try. But this is probably the best this page is going to be. And I'm probably fixing to ruin it. So that's what I was talking about. The just some letters bigger, some letters smaller, so that it all fits in the space you have. So it says channeling my inner Teesha Moore, if you can't read it. Because, yeah, I'm not sure I could read it, and I wrote it. But, okay, so there's your bonus, which is my channeling my inner Teesha Moore. And sign and date it. And I did this in my little travel journal because this one is all different stuff. But I will link Teesha in the description, her old videos of this style, because I promise you, when you may think, oh, that's super cute, wait till you see hers. They were just always so fun, so fabulous, so full of energy. The stuff that she came up with and had the patience to do, that was another thing, because y'all know patience is not my strong point. So, and this has been over an hour. I will edit it down so that you get the highlights of what I did. But, yeah, I think I edited yesterday's, and I think it was like either 28 or 38 minutes edited. I think it was an hour unedited. So, yeah, this is not a quick art journaling, but it's also something you can come back to. You can paint the background, and like I said, she always had a solid background, and I kind of forgot that when I started. But I don't hate the squares in the background. I don't think they're that distracting. I think they actually kind of add to the fun and the energy of it. But you can paint the background as one phase or day. You can then add all your collage pieces. Then your pen work you can do over many days. You just sit down to it and think, what do I want to add next? And then the thing is to add funky elements. Like, if you look at her eyes, okay, so I intentionally drew her eyes wrong. But when I drew her pupils, they're actually sideways eyes. I don't know if y'all noticed that. So her pupils are actually sideways eyes. So, just have fun with it. That's the biggest thing, is this should be complete and total play. Maybe you end up with something you love. Maybe you end up with something that you just think is fun and full of energy. But the process is super important in this one. And I will say I loved doing it. To the point that I may do some more. I had forgotten how much I love this style of collage and art journaling, because I just haven't done it in years. So anyway, there's your bonus for messing up day 8 of the Happenstance videos. I hope you love it. Maybe you like it more than you like the Happenstance. There's no right or wrong answer to that question. Bye, y'all. Okay, so here's your close-ups. I'm going to try and do this without putting shadows on it, but y'all know how that goes. I think it's cute, and I had a lot of fun doing it.